Good day, everyone. My name is Hayden Jamal of HaydenJamal.com, motif legend, here with a video discussing how do you balance a 9-to-5 job and pursuing a career in music. Let's talk about it. So generally, the person that's pursuing a career in music likely is using their 9-to-5 job to fund their music initially. So it's very important to know how to balance the two. The first thing that you want to understand is that when you're pursuing a career in music and you have a 9-to-5 job, is that your time management skills are truly going to be put to the test. And this is really when you're going to have to know how to balance your work life and your music life. So knowing what your schedule is for your 9-to-5 job and then planning all of your things around that with your music also really becomes a necessity. So if you work 9 to 5, then maybe you should try scheduling some of your things to happen from 7 to 11, or getting up early in the morning and doing a 5 to 7 a.m. recording session. The next thing that you would want to understand about your job is that your job is your primary source of income. But if you're pursuing a career in music, then the people whom you report to, if you're not the, overseer of the company, have to kind of know what you're doing. I think communication is extremely important. So you want to tell your managers or you want to tell your bosses that you're pursuing a career in music, and sometimes things may not go as planned when it comes to your scheduling. Let's say you have an emergency, call for a great show that comes up. Your boss should know that this thing could happen. So communicating with the necessary people is a necessity. They should know what you're trying to pursue. Now, here's the thing. Some people work jobs that are very strenuous on their bodies and their minds. But when it comes to pursuing a career in music, it cannot be both. Pursuing a career in music is extremely taxing on the mind, and it's a lot of physical labor. So you don't want to be doing labor and mind work doing music and doing labor and mind work in, your 9-to-5 job. I don't care how much you love music. Like, I love making music. The process of making music is fun. Some of the other things that go into making music isn't fun. It's just necessary. And so you don't want to be doing all of these things where it's going to be taxing on your mind, because you don't want to be, tired by the time you get around to doing some of the things for your music career. So when it comes to time management, one of the things that I've been using is like a calendar app within my phone. So whenever there's an open mic coming up or whenever there's some kind of event coming up, I've got reminders going up to, maybe 3 weeks before it ever happens, so that I can get those schedule requests in if I need to get those in. Another kind of underrated thing that you could do at your 9-to-5 job is that if you have coworkers, I would suggest talking to a few of them and seeing if any of them really support you, because you're probably going to need them in some way. Switching schedules up is almost going to be like a necessity at some point. And so you need someone that's going to be kind of understanding of like, hey, I need to work this morning instead of this night, or whatever case may be, where someone is going to be willing to switch with you because they believe in you. I know that may seem kind of a stretch, but you'd be surprised as to what you could communicate, how that can influence how much someone would help you, especially when it comes to, you pursuing something that you love. But here's the thing. Some are going to say that when it comes to your spare time, you need to have a set schedule with your independent music career, the same way that you have it with your work schedule and your 9-to-5. That's very unrealistic, right? Because pursuing music, there's really no set schedules with anything that goes into it. You can plan to be in the studio for 2 hours and it could end up being 6. You could plan to perform at this time and you get sick all of a sudden. Like, it doesn't really work that way. So what I've tried to do the most is that when I do have time, when I'm in my most productive stages, the best versions of myself when it comes to pursuing my music, doing all the necessary things, I try to be extremely laser-like focused during those times. So when I'm in a good groove, I take advantage of that time. So I'd rather get a bunch of work done in a short amount of time than just doing a whole lot of work over a long period of time. Because you're trying to maintain a 9-to-5 job, a music career. Do you have a social life too? How about a girlfriend or something like that? So make sure that when you do have time to pursue the music that you're laser focused and you're going directly into it and you're not wasting any time. It's just like a studio session. You've got 3 hours, so that means for these 3 hours we are in here and we are just hashing away at this record. Let's go ahead and knock it out. Now here's the thing, social media is an integral part of music promotion these days. You can't really get around it. So with some jobs, it's very hard to, be on the phone and, be at a job. So what you can do is that if you have certain things that you need to put out at a specific time, go ahead and knock out all of your tweets and your posts for stuff early in advance and have them delayed so that they send at a certain time. There's tons of apps that you can look at to do these types of things. Another thing that's criminally underrated when it comes to pursuing a career in music and maintaining the 9-to-5 job is sleep. I can't stress this enough. When you're working 40 to 45 hours a week and then you're pursuing music like on a part-time basis and you're really putting your body through like 70 hours of work in a week, I'm telling you, your body is going to take a beating, and one day it's going to say, you know what? Fuck you, man. Like, we're gonna go and we're just gonna knock you out and you're gonna be out like a light for a whole goddamn day. And I just think that it's important for you to get sleep so that you have energy and such. Also, when you're sleeping, your body actually heals itself. So, I kind of think that's kind of why I'm under the weather now, because I think I work a little too hard and then I do too much and I don't rest enough, and so my body just said, forget me, I'm gonna give you a fever so that you have to, sleep for 18 hours out of 24. I think that's how it works. So I would say get plenty of rest. When it's time to go to sleep, go to sleep. Developing really good business habits is also a must. So one of the things that I try to do is that anytime I get an email or anytime I get like a DM from someone when it comes to anything related to music, I try to respond within 24 hours. Now, I'm not always doing that every time, but I try to. This way I don't have to, go through all these emails and get caught up, and I don't have to sit here pacing through everything. I can really take time to respond to everything in the right way. And this way, I'm not playing catch up, and it's not taking away from anything else that I could be doing. If you guys have any tips that you would like to share, please put them in the comments below. My name is Hayden Jamal of HaydenJamal.com, Motif Legend. Remember, I am a rapper and a songwriter. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The links are in the description below. Remember to be the dream, stop dreaming, and subscribe. Time and money are the same thing, so when it comes to both, you're best to respect it. I can come off as a sarcastic bullshitter in a Fox fashion. Some say I'm arrogant as hell. I just think y'all got no passion. Tongue game like Jimi Hendrix fingers. On the grind, putting on for the city. Shout out girls who's bartending with a big old booty with the big old titties. Got an old school flow with an old school dance.